All right, ladies and gentlemen, good, what is it, Wednesday morning, day 3 of Full Throttle. Looks like the market seems to care today about tech earnings. I've been doing this for 33, 34 years. Every tech rally ends. And it seems like the more recent tech rallies, people don't believe that, right? Like, oh, this is the time. It's just tech's just going to keep on going. You don't understand AI. It's fantastic. Okay. All right. As of jumping on the air this morning, we have about 21. 21 is the number. We will close the doors at 50. We always close the doors when we hit 50. Sometimes it's today, sometimes it's tomorrow. Usually when people are panicking, it's usually like Monday or Tuesday we're full, which is awesome. But again, everybody's a genius, right? When the market's going straight up. No, they're not. Trust me, people, the only geniuses is in this market are the people like me who can print money as the market goes down. And I'm going to make another audible today to help you out with a potential hedge, right? And if we have time, we'll get to the synthetic stock. Because we haven't seen for a while a pullback into the circulatory system, right? So we gapped down through the 20-day moving average this morning. Why? Tesla sucks, and so does Alphabet. I'm not going to call it Alphabet ever. It's Google. Why? Google fails to wow as what? AI bills mount. Oh, okay. So all these companies are blowing through wads of cash on AI. Not one person beyond it helps me write emails better has given me a practical application for AI. Unless you're in the defense industry and it's murder, it's an automated killing system that's going to kill all of us, by the way. But anyway, we'll dig into all this stuff. But lot of stuff going on. Here's the link to join. Like I said, we close at 21. We'll talk Solo Amazon tomorrow. Some of you have already joined Solo Amazon. Solo Amazon is not part of Full Throttle, so you will not get access to the majority of the stuff that we do here at Top Gun Options. If you want to join Full Throttle and Solo Amazon, just kind of click it right there and add it to your order. $29.95 is your annual membership fee. You can make that back in a couple trades potentially. Wiz, I still need to kick the tires for another couple months. $2.95 a month, man. That's the minimum to get you in here, unless you do solo. The Hunters, folks, is I want to test out Full Throttle. I want access to all the training, and I want access to your investment club called the Hunters over here. That's the $4.97 a month, right? I don't mind if you stay in there for the rest of your life, but since I'm a good dude, that's why I came up with the annual. I'm like, you know what? Let's give them a 50% discount if they do an annual. The Hunters is kind of a monthly. I want to check out your investment club and everything else you do here. You do not get the Hunters access with the Full Throttle monthly. You do not get it. So. Yeah, Thomas, exactly. All right, so there's the link to join. I'm done talking any admin issues, anything else. We do have our final Full Throttle brief tomorrow. I'm going to talk about investing in the only sector I'm bullish on, which has a very, very big decision coming up in 2 weeks. Massive decision. So I like investing around dates, Brexit, government shutdown, maybe sometimes earnings, elections. When there's a known date and there might be a known potential market reaction, I like doing trades around those. So we're going to talk tomorrow about an upcoming date that is very big for this sector, one way or another. All right, quick reminder, this is the replay page. The first brief, just scroll down a little bit and click day 1 replay right there. Day 2 is in the big box right there. Day 3, today we'll be on here once we get done the brief today. So, I mean, the other day when we started, what do we have? Like 400, 500 people. Now there's 645. So a slim percentage of you will get the remaining 21 slots. Okay. All right. Let's go. The past couple days has solidified my election prediction. Donald Trump will not win the election. It is clear now today. Why? Have you seen the mainstream medium? Reuters shock poll finds Kamala leading. Of course, when you dig into the poll, they oversample Democrats, right? They do this all the time. They oversample Democrats versus Republicans and independents. That's not the point, folks. Look at the front of the Drudge report yesterday. Shock poll: Harris leads Trump. Dem excitement. Kamala, we're not. Ladies and gentlemen, here is what's going on. Up until a week ago, Kamala and all the Democrats, the president's as sharp as a tack. He runs circles around me. He runs circles around a 50-year-old woman. Oh, that's interesting. And now this week, obviously, he's got dementia and he's got to go. The only reason he had to go, folks, was because the world saw that disastrous debate. I saw it when he was hiding in his basement in COVID, folks, that he was an idiot and had dementia. So when the Democratic machine saw that they couldn't pull off rigging the election this time, it would just be physically impossible based on what we saw. Here comes Kamala. The woman has lower approvability ratings than Joe Biden, 37%. She didn't win a single primary ever. Never got a single Democratic vote. Now we are led to believe that a shitload of people have donated and the polls are going through the roof. That's how you know she is going to win. I have told you there's a 3 to 5% margin of cheating that will go on. If you look at the state of Georgia, Trump carried Georgia. If you look at everything that's happened that you will not see on the media because they refuse to talk about it, the dude won. I predicted in 2020 he would win on election night and lose over the coming days and weeks. That's exactly what happened. Now I'm making my next prediction. He's not going to win. Unless the dude is up 20% in the polls, like outside a margin of cheating, he will not win. So get ready for President Harris. 100% liberal rating as a senator. So she got to the top, so to speak, in California. Ask Willie Brown how she got her start in California politics, or Montel Williams. Unopposed, folks. A liberal Democrat in California is as natural as breathing. So zero competition. Then she got selected to be vice president based on her sex and her race. By the way, Elon Musk is African American. Kamala Harris is not. Just a quick reminder. You talk to the Jamaicans and Indians in this country, they're furious that the media calls this woman African American. She is not. So, what's this have to do with politics investing? Everything. And we'll get to it. But again, yesterday solidified my prediction that Trump loses because the polls show him losing. Now they can cheat. I mean, they were going to cheat anyway. Okay, if you were here about a month or two ago, we got long-term bearish on. If I were a one-issue voter, Thomas, I'd be voting for RFK. He is the only presidential candidate who supports psychedelic-assisted therapy for veterans. 80% of the other stuff, I think RFK is a nut. He believed up until massive blowback a couple months ago in abortion up until the moment of birth. I'm not there. So most of what RFK stands for and believes, I could not be more disagree with. Psychedelics for veterans, agreed. But I thought Donald Trump, especially picking JD Vance, was the dumbest decision. It was great for Donald Trump because he wants his legacy. He wants a mini him to carry this forward. He should have picked Tim Scott. period. Tim Scott or somebody else, but JD Vance was the dumbest pick, and they're both going to lose. So a couple months ago, I told you to get bearish on the cruise line industry. Why? Because of this video right here. Did you see this video? Watch this. This is an unmanned Houthi drone boat full of explosives doing a kamikaze run on a ship, zigzagging. Nobody in that boat but explosives. Okay. Over here on the bridge wing, we got a bunch of dudes with small arms shooting at this thing. You can't hear the volume, obviously, but they're shooting at it. I want you to keep watching this. Coming right for this cargo ship full of explosives, dodging bullets. Almost to the ship. Boom. I don't like, Thomas, you don't get a lot of news anywhere. I love, thank you. I love people who are like, dude, I don't even watch the news anymore. I come to my Top Gun options brief to get the news. So hold on, Wiz. The black guy, right? Our Secretary of Defense. His name is Lloyd Austin. He was a 4-star general. He's now our Secretary of Defense. But last week in an interview, Joe Biden said, I appointed I appointed a black guy, Secretary of Defense. So anyway, Secretary of Defense Austin, 8 months ago said what? The United States is launching Operation Prosperity Guardian. We're gonna keep the Red Sea open. We have an international coalition that will fight the Houthis and the blowfish. Fucking miserable failure. Just like the $350 million pier that we built to get supplies into Gaza that collapsed after 21 days. Did I have 1 million of the 320 that you spent on a failed pier to heal veterans? Anyway, folks, this is the biggest commit criteria to be bearish on the cruise ship industry. We went out 2 years into the future and got bearish. Why? I live here in Miami, folks. You go to Miami on Sunday afternoon and sit at the Smith and Lewinsky on the channel. You can set your watch to it at like 5 o'clock. A massive conga line of about 20 of the largest cruise ships in the world, separated by about 7.5 minutes perfectly, does a big conga line out of that channel over to the islands. The next 9/11 ain't airliners or anything like that. It will be remote controlled boats like this that will blow up into the side of the Oasis of the Seas. And you want to talk about terror? Imagine being on one of these ships that's sinking, listing to the side, big explosive hole in the side, and the ship's sinking. Thousands of people, 3,000 people died on 9/11. What do you think is going to happen when, not if, this happens to a cruise ship? If we can sit in a live trade brief and think about this, do you think there's dudes in fucking sandals and pickup trucks in their Toyotas in Yemen going, Kamala, the border czar, oh, I'm sorry. The media over the past couple of days has said this is a lie. It's fake news. Kamala was never appointed to be in charge of the border. What? Here's the press conference with Kamala and Joe, and Joe says, you're the border czar. That's fake. That's a deep fake. You want a long-term bearish trade, it's on the cruise ship industry. There will be a terrorist attack. I kind of sees, 10,000 people. I don't like talking like this. Wiz I creeps me out to talk about these potential trades. And then I'll say again, if you want a friend, go get a dog. I find potential trade ideas. This will happen. I'll give you this link. This is your commit criteria on being bearish on the cruise ship industry. Folks, what happened after 9/11? Standard government knee-jerk reaction. Let's armor the cockpit doors. Okay. More air marshals. Okay. Federal flight deck officer, FFDO. Some pilots can pack heat. Okay. And now we have the TSA, which stands for thousands standing around. We just took the people from September 10th that were lazy and stupid and unionized them and made them government employees. That's fantastic. So that's what happened in the aviation industry. What is going to happen when, not if, this happens to a cruise ship? Are they going to put surface-to-surface Sea Sparrow missiles on these cruise ships? Are they going to put Sea Whiz close inboard weapon systems? Are they going to put, again, hey, talking like this is a potential trade. If I were a terrorist and wanted to really stick it to America, I'd be in Miami right now building these boats. Whiz, you shouldn't be talking like this. They might hear you. Okay. Do you remember after 9/11 that the Pentagon came up with a red team website? The Pentagon said, my fellow Americans, we miss this one, man. Here's a website. Give us all the ideas about how you would kill a mass group of Americans in a terrorist attack. And it was, they took the website down like days later. I need to Google this and do some more research. I remember it because the media went apeshit. How morbid and how weird. And the Pentagon's like, oh, sorry. It was the smartest idea I've seen come out of the Pentagon in a long time. If you wanted to kill as many of us as possible, my fellow Americans, please let us know. Please help us red team and keep this country safe. They took it down. Anyway, being skeet sheeting on cruise ships. This is pretty funny. What is this? Houthi blowfish? Is that where it comes from? So here's all the these Houthi ships that are, you know. So anyway, go look at, if you become a member, you can go watch the replay when we did this brief. It's in the member pages. Go watch it. How to get bearish on on this. But again, folks, if we look at pure military operations under the Biden administration, Abbey Gate, 11 Marines, a soldier, and an AR dead, vaporized. The biggest surrender in our republic's history. After a 20-year war against the Taliban, we surrendered to the Taliban. You don't see this in the media. The October 7th attack on Israel. Did you know that? I did. 3, Georgia National Guard Army soldiers killed in Oman in an attack by Iranian proxy forces. Operation Prosperity Garden, miserable failure. Dudes in rowboats taking on the world's greatest navies. The French left, their Corvette broke down. The Brits rippled off a couple missiles, and they're like, uh-oh, we're into our spare missiles. That's great. All right. Stocks flutter while earnings season cranks up. We're going to talk about what we're going to do in case a flutter turns into a heart attack. Okay. But stocks flutter while earnings season cranks up. The Russell 2000, small. Who's buried in Grant's tomb? How many names are in the S&P 500? How many names are in the Russell 2000? So, ladies and gentlemen, the Russell 2000 is a pretty good proxy for mom and pop. It's small to medium-sized companies. Look at the RUT. Let's go 1-year chart. I think, Ponch, you've been looking at the RUT a lot lately. The RUT, the Russell 2000, was kind of in a range, man, for the past. Jerome Powell said, hey, we might cut rates next year. It popped, and then we got into this Russell range. This is Iron Condor territory dream. We covered in Iron Condor yesterday, earnings Iron Condor on Amazon out to August 1st. Go watch the replay. I think I said it yesterday, and if I didn't, I failed. Let me clean it up. Iron Condors are great until when? They're not. Things don't stay in a range forever. In this case, the Russell blew out to the top. Now, I'm going to tell you that I have a big whiteboard in my office. I have a bullish, bear. I have targets all up there. The rut is at the top of my bearish board. Now, why, Wiz? Because this article says the exact opposite. That's exactly right. Kid, Ponch, me, we all, as instructors, would teach students. You need to be out of cycle, out of phase, out of plane with the bad guy. When they're doing that, you're doing the exact opposite. So as the rut 2000 is outperforming right now compared to the S&P and the NASDAQ, that goes to the top of my bearish board. Okay. Why? Folks, the economy sucks. I don't care what Kamala and Joe are going to tell you. It's a shit show out here. I do consulting. I talk to businesses. It is not good. Okay. So this pop in the rut, I think, is going to come down to earth. And we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. And we'll look at the S&P 500 too. We already beat this horse to death. The stocks bond yields advanced with the return of the Trump trade. This was July 15th. This was last week. It is done. There ain't no return of the Trump trade anymore. Let's go back to SPX. That Trump trade has already faded. Look at this. That was right here, and now it's over with. Done. Ain't no more Trump trade. Somebody posted earlier a 98% probability of a rate cut in September. We have a Fed meeting in a week. You know what a recent Fed lieutenant said? Bill Dudley. Why is that guy important? Because he was the Federal Reserve chief of New York City. That's like Fed. He's the head of the Federal Reserve Junior Officer Protection Association, JOPA. If Jerome Powell's the Fed chair, I forget who the vice chair is now. He's the skipper and they have an XO. Bill Dudley, the New York Fed chief at the time, would be their department head, right? Their senior most department head. Very senior Federal Reserve person. I changed my mind. The Fed needs to cut rates now. He wrote this article yesterday morning in Bloomberg. Waiting until September unnecessarily increases the risk of a recession. Wow. Fed chiefs, Fed senior chief, lieutenants starting to panic. First of all, he's a limousine liberal. He's a New York Fed chief. He's a well-known liberal. Anti-Trump guy. You're going to see more and more of this. We already know Pocahontas Elizabeth Warren is froths at the mouth at Jerome Powell that he needs to be cutting rates. So SPX has taken a beating today on Tesla, Alphabet, and a bunch of other stuff, but the bullish double vertical out to September is solid. Somebody Google it real quick. Rick or one of my Fed's funds futures rates guy. Go look at the CME page and what is there any probability of a rate cut next week? Mike, that's exactly the point. Mike says, almost like they're admitting they've been lying about how good the economy is. Precisely. We need to cut rates now. Everything's bad. Whoa, you've been telling us everything's good. Yeah, it is, but it isn't. Okay, dude. The Magnificent Seven. Wiz, this tech wreck will be the first tech wreck you've ever seen in your 3 decades of doing this that will keep going up. You know how many times I've heard that, and you know how many times say you're wrong and it's going to end, and then it ends miserably? That's what's going on here. What we're seeing during this earnings season is the growing gap between rather optimistic profit consensus and slowing economic growth. Wow. That's it, Robert. Thank you. Only a 6% probability of a rate cut in July. I'd be shocked if they cut next week. That would almost be shocking to the downside. Like the market would go, "Yay, we got a rate." Wait a minute. What are they telling us? But this sentence, folks, the chickens are coming home to roost. For the past couple years, I've wondered this aloud. Will this be the earnings period where the market says, you know what, man, look at the valuations of some of these companies like NVIDIA and shit like that. Like math still matters in some level. Years ago, I remember trading Amazon, and it was Trade Monster at the time. That's how old I am. Trade Monster for Amazon, the PE for Amazon was like 3,000. They didn't have enough decimal points for the PE. The techies had to redo, they had to make a change, right? Now, at the time, I remember going, this is not my father and mother stock market. A 3,000 PE is normal. It was. Jeff Bezos, brilliant guy, did it. But they're not Amazon. This is why tomorrow we'll talk about solo Amazon. It's the Death Star. It owns everything and it destroys everything. Other companies are not the Death Star. Okay. So math is starting to matter during this earnings period. It hasn't for a long time. I told you this wizism the other day. The market only cares when it cares. Seems like it really started to care here about Tesla and Google. Oh, I forgot about Visa too. Not so kind of crappy earnings here, folks. All of the Magnificent Seven stocks fell, obviously led by Tesla, down 11% or so right now. I traded Tesla years ago. Folks, I don't get it, man. Here's what I say. So it's filled this gap. Here's what I say about Tesla. If you own Tesla as a shrimp or a vehicle for eating cocktail sauce, if you view Tesla as a vehicle for eating Elon Musk, get bullish on Tesla. I nailed this when Tesla was 800, 900. What did I tell you? I said, if you value Tesla as an auto company, it's worth $100. I think I nailed it. What did it get down to? It got close. It almost hit my $100 target. I nailed it. I said, if you value it as an auto company, it's $100. Remember, it was up here at like 900 or whatever it was. So let's do a little whiz technical analysis right now. This is a gap move in Tesla. This is half the gap. You want to know why this stock imploded to right here today? Because I just told you, it filled half the gap. That's a Wall Streetism. I've been in rooms with the Chinese and Ukrainian programmers. If X equals half the gap, then this. So let's do a little whiz technical analysis. Gap, half the gap. If it bounces and hangs and goes up, it's bullish. Buy it. This is why in a way you have to wait here. You don't, hey, it's down 11%. I'm going to buy it here. Nope. I'd rather give up a couple points either way to get confirmation. If it fills the gap and doesn't bounce and hovers, it's bearish. If it fills the gap, hovers for a second or a couple days or two, and then starts to go down, pound it into the dirt, it's going down to whatever that is, 170. I've done this for a long time, folks. That's exactly what happens. But you got to wait a little bit. I would not do anything with Tesla today, period. I wouldn't do anything with Tesla anyway. I'm an idiot, apparently. Everybody's got an EV, Porsche, Kia, you name the auto company. This isn't unique anymore. Tesla ain't unique anymore. I don't understand it. I've never understood it. Made money on it, but so I'm going to leave Tesla alone. I'm going to leave Tesla alone mainly because I don't trade it in years, and you got to wait. You have got to wait right now. I mean, look at this chart. It's 2 months of nothing, of level. Rip your face, buy the rumor, sell the news. But apparently the rumor wasn't a good rumor. So, and then Alphabet, man. I love this headline. Google fails to wow as AI bills mount. Advertising business faces tough growth comparisons. Does anybody want to tell me who the biggest competitor to Google is in advertising now? You don't have to type the 4-letter identifier. I'm going to tell you right now. It's Amazon. years ago, when I used to trade Google, I can't stand it now. Years ago, when I used to trade Google, I remember reading one of their listening and then looking at it in print to an earnings call. We are facing pressures from a new competitor into this space, blah, blah. I'm like, they wouldn't name who the new advertising competitor eating their Wheaties was. It was Amazon. Amazon is coming for Google's core business. Wow. So, and again, does everybody remember the metaverse? Do you remember Zuckerberg? People are like, Wiz, you should buy real estate in the metaverse. Somebody just, Citigroup just paid, $10 million to buy I'm like, okay, is this like an NFT or something? I'm the complete idiot. I guess I'm the only one who doesn't want to sit on my couch all day with an eye thing on, walking around a virtual bar with no legs on. Is it on? Okay, I'm the weirdo. All right. He spent $12 billion on the metaverse. Now, maybe 500 years from now, when the world's a toxic wasteland, you do want to sit on your couch and live in a utopia. It ain't now. What I'm getting at is this AI, folks. It will kill all of us. AI in the future will actually laugh amongst itself about how you bought bullish calls on NVIDIA that resulted in killing all of us. AI has zero use, folks, in my opinion. You see how many people where was I reading that? Do I have this article? It was about Silicon Valley starting to come up with funds for out of work techies. This article actually, Matt, where is it? Damn it. I think that's what I did. I think I posted it over here. It was something I forget. Anyway, it's an article about the people in Silicon Valley going, we know AI is going to be awesome and it's great, but just about 75% of people working in Silicon Valley are going to lose their jobs. What's going on with MindMed, Punch? Seen that a couple times. Look at that, folks. MindMed, $7 stock. Now it's going to be a $10 stock. Love me some MindMed. We'll talk about MindMed tomorrow. Anybody see any news? I haven't heard anything. Maybe some good news, hopefully coming in a couple weeks. How's everybody else doing? A tie. Little pop out of a tie. Cybin. Nothing. Compass. Nothing. Oh, phase 3 coming out? Okay. And I am in Cybin. I'm in all of them, folks. I'm in Cybin. Is it the MM120 phase 3? Let's go look. I can text Cody and he will be able to tell me immediately. 7 days ago, 26 days ago. Is that what it is? A buy target? Roth initiates MindMed coverage at a buy, $36 price target. Holy shit, man. Oh, the LSD one. Yep, good. Good. So stealing a little thunder from my brief tomorrow, buy MindMed with both hands. Buy it today, buy a shitload of it. Period. That's the answer. All right, let's cruise. I'm almost to where we need to be. Anything going on macroeconomically? Flash manufacturing PMI, services, new home sales. New home sales not looking too pretty. That's all right. Not really moving the market. Tomorrow, advanced GDP. That'll be interesting. Let's see how Uncle Sam spins this one. Remember, folks, GDP comes out in 3 parts. The government is allowed to revise and extend their remarks. They come out a month apart. There's advanced GDP, there's preliminary, and then there's final. So advanced is usually the lie. Our you'll see Joe and Kamala in the Rose Garden tomorrow. GDP is crushing it. It's absolutely awesome. Preliminary will come out a month later, revised down, and then the final truthful number will be a shit show. But you don't care because they're already reporting the next quarterly GDP. So the final for the previous one is technically a joke. So we will see tomorrow if this administration is where we are with GDP. It's got a little red fire here which says high impact expected. Nobody cares. I'll leave it at that. Nobody gives a shit anymore. The Fed, it's all about the Fed and when they're going to cut rates. And then durable goods, we get a little inflation number Friday morning. Personal income, personal spending, University of Michigan consumer sentiment, and inflation expectations. So inflation, Friday morning might move us around a little bit. Wiz, inflation's going in the right direction. It's trending down. Okay. All right. I'm good. I just keep living my life. And it's funny, folks, people are panicking. It doesn't matter. They installed Joe Biden because they wanted a puppet, man. Hey, sign this. Joe Biden's a moderate. He'll be a bridge to a new generation. So he'll be a placeholder, and then he'll let the reins go. The fuck he did. It was a coup. The Democratic Party is not a democracy. It's an oligarchy. 14 million people voted for this guy. When the polls got shitty, they dumped him. So now a group of people are going to pick their nominee. Sounds like old Chicago politics, doesn't it? That's the definition of an oligarchy. So the people who want to defend democracy and accuse the other side of wanting to destroy it, actually, they always accuse you of what they're actually doing. All right, here we go. I was going to do long-term bull synthetic, and I'm going to remind you, Donald Trump, if he wins the election, is going to be the dog that caught the car. If Donald Trump is elected, you will, in the blink of an eye, see the most bearish, shitty economic data you've ever seen in your life. I guarantee you. Anybody want to bet? BLS used to be the Bureau of Labor Statistics. It is the Biden Labor Statistics. The Census Bureau, the Commerce Department. You will see the worst economic data known to man. Which technically, I guess Trump would like, because he's going to do what? Jerome Powell needs to cut rates. Trust me, believe me, he needs to cut rates. I don't know who hired him, but the guy should be fired if he doesn't cut rates. So technically, it might be good for Trump, but you are going to see awfulness. Okay. So, yeah, and the BLS doesn't need the L. That's exactly right. Rick, it doesn't matter, right? Rick said it would be Biden's fault. Of course it will. But I can't stand the guy or the gal that does what? They get into office and they do what? Obama did it for 8 years. He did it for 8 years, like the last day of the guy's presidency. Well, I inherited this from Bush, and it's been awful. Dude, you've been here for fucking 8 years. Trump did a little bit of it. Yeah, I'm doing my best, and believe me, I'm trying. But 8 years of Obama, it's a shit show. Shut up. Be present. Namaste. Basi. You are in charge. Stop blaming the previous commanding officer. You're in command. Fix it. But here's what I'm rambling through, folks. We have, exactly, Thomas. We have some big events out here in the white. I've told you repeatedly this week, ain't nobody in this room trading off the left side of a chart. You're not allowed. I'd love to know which broker lets you do that. We got to trade off the right side of the chart. The right side of a chart should be going up into September with a rate cut. I have warned you repeatedly, and maybe I should have done this the other day because of what the market's doing today, that it could be a buy the rumor, sell the news. Even with all the bullshit, everything's great and inflation's beat, employment's great, everything's great. Market doesn't give a shit. The market cares about the market at that point. Rip your face off 10, 11-month rally. It's time to take some profits. We don't care that Jerome Powell just cut rates. We're up here because we've been high on crack for 11 months waiting for this rate cut. So you are allowed to have, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call it dueling trades. I do this all the time. The market is going to do what? Move. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. Net for the past 9 months, the trend has been your friend. So Monday, I think it was, we have on a trade that takes advantage of the trend. Now we're going to contingency plan. God forbid between now and the election, fill in the blank. Xi Jinping's an idiot. And to my dear Chinese overlords listening to me, I was joking. But he's an idiot. We didn't see the president of the United States for 5 days. He was a hostage, signed a piece of paper that nobody knows he actually did. It was posted on Twitter, which is pretty damn funny. Elon Musk, they used X to announce his retirement, essentially. The White House wasn't told. His staffers weren't. His staffers found out on X. Anyway, I'm rambling through this, folks, that there is a distinct possibility that something happens to do this. Wall Street doesn't care. They care about themselves. Bobby Axelrod cares about Bobby Axelrod and Axe Capital. All these Blackstone, they don't give a shit, man. They all know folks, they know it's a lie. I've been to the parties. I know these people. Everybody smiles and laughs about how we're going straight up. We have to because we're all in this. But if we all decide, you know what? Let's kind of take a little off the table here. It will be look out below. So you can have dueling trades, ladies and gentlemen, especially when you don't know. I got a bullish double vertical on. Why don't we talk about a bearish? And I promise tomorrow we'll talk about a synthetic stock position. But when you see shit like that, let me remind you of this right now. The market does not like living in between moving averages. Let me close this down a little bit. You see this right here? Let me take a look. These lines, the 20-day, the 50-day, the 100-day, are magnets. The market gets pulled down to them or up to them. It doesn't like living in between moving averages. I call it no man's land. World War I trench warfare. It's a movie 1917. The market will not stay in here, folks. We will have a violent move, snap back up to the 20, or look out below down to this 50-day. Does everybody understand that? That's why you're seeing a violent move right now. Okay. The S&P is trying to figure out, should we go touch the deep end? It's a kid on his tippy toes, like, I can't swim. Get out of the deep end, dude. Are we going to smash down to here or up to here? Now, that's a tactical thing going on right now. I want to look out here. In my 3 decades of doing this, anecdotally, I always say I'm going to look into it, and I got shit to do. I would say 90% of the time in my life of trading, September, October, we call it a shit show. It's usually mid-September to mid-August. All sorts of seasonality, all sorts of reasons I can give you. This one, however, has a Fed meeting at the beginning of September. Okay? So, Fed meeting beginning of September. buy the rumor, we rally into it, sell the news. So we can have dueling S&P 500 trades. I call it dogfighting, baby. I got both these things on. I think we're going to run into September and then potentially sell the news. And Wiz says 90% of the time, at least in his Joe Biden memory, September, October, mid-September to mid-October usually has a shit show. And then what happens? I got a calendar reminder because Wiz told me to put it in my phone to get bullish after that shit show because of Kwanzaa, Christmas, winter solstice, and Hanukkah. There is a Santa Claus rally. Trust me, this is free money, folks. There are exceptions. 2018, October 3rd, Jerome Powell, I think we need to raise rates. We had a bear market from October to the Christmas massacre. Steve Mnuchin, who was partners with my sister at Dune Capital. Steve Mnuchin, Treasury Secretary, on the beach in Cabo with his wife, calling Jamie Dimon. You guys need cash? Are we gonna make it? You remember that? That was not a Christmas rally. That was Scrooge. Go look at your charts. 2018, from October 3rd to my birthday, December 31st. That I can remember. There was no Christmas rally that year. That is the exception, not the rule. Any questions with that? Yeah, Eli, that's a great point. Eli brings up a great point. And the president will be known, right? Should be known. Well, not in September, October, but the election in November, right? There will be volatility out there, but knowing who the president is can give us a Santa Claus rally. So, Steve, who does Wall Street favor for president? Steve, of course you're not. Bill Ackman, I love seeing the progression of Bill Ackman from a limousine liberal like Bill Maher. Maybe it's the name Bill. Bill Maher was an arsonist for decades. He created this shit, and now he's trying to be a firefighter. A little late, Bill. Bill Ackman, limousine liberal. I went to Harvard, and my wife, and we're limousine liberal Democrats. To see that guy after the Harvard and the anti-Semitic bullshit going on, and with Joe Biden, to see him go from limousine liberal to supporting Trump makes my heart smile. So the majority of the market, in my opinion, the people I talk to clearly want Donald Trump. You could not be more pro-business. Does Wall Street want Donald Trump, who did some pretty good shit in the market and fighting the Chinese and all sorts of stuff? Or you want a liberal California senator, essentially, who knows nothing about the markets? So in my opinion, Wall Street would favor Donald Trump. They can't, unless you're Bill Ackman, who can't get canceled, you're not coming out of the closet, so to speak. This is 2015, guys. If you were here back then, I was flying around the country doing keynotes. I was doing a lot of consulting back then. And that's why my prediction in 2016 came true. I was talking to humans. I'd be at a cocktail party after a keynote. People would look to their left and right and be like, I'm voting for Donald Trump. Like, what are you scared of? People were terrified. They'd lie to pollsters. I don't want to tell somebody, a stranger on the phone, that I'm voting for Trump. They'll think I'm a Nazi. Yeah. So, in my opinion, this is 2015. A lot of people on Wall Street ain't going to come out and say they want Donald Trump. They can't. But I don't know how you come out, and if you're pro-business, pro-free market, and pro-Wall Street, that you want Kamala Harris. Anyway, let's go. We have got to get a hedge or a Tredge on out to October. We're going to go past our Federal Reserve rate cut rally trade, and we're going to go out to the middle of October, the regular October expiration. Okay, so let's kind of start stepping through some trades. Let me give you some terminology real quick. A trade I place to make money. A hedge, a pure hedge, is an ejection seat. It better lose money. Oh, I'm in a live trade brief. This guy's trying to get me to become a member, and he places something that he wants to lose money on. Yeah, I do. Folks, do you think I sit here at this desk and write a check every month to the USAA Home, Auto, and Life Insurance Company and go, son of a bitch, I'm losing money? Folks, first of all, that doesn't happen because it's on auto debit. I pay every month because if some blue hair rear ends me at a light, I'm going to go, thank God I have insurance. So I look at it as a hedge. If a hedge is making money for me, my longs, my long-term bullish positions are getting hammered, right? So unless you're a weird person, you don't sit here and go, I'm losing money on insurance. Now, years ago, I conducted surgery, Whiz Frankenstein. I spliced those two words together and I used the word Tredge. It's a trade that I think is going to make money and also can serve as a hedge to protect my longs. It's called a Tredge. It's both. It's a trade that can potentially make money, and it will serve as a hedge to help me out in case something bad happens. Any question about that? So the middle of October is 86 days away. Obviously, this is a Tredge against everything. World issues, political issues, profit taking, whatever. We can have dueling trades on at this point. Okay. Where to start? I have no idea. So I always start with the at the money straddle. S&P is currently trading at 5470. Let's go look at the 5470 strikes. I'm going to go to straddle. I'm going to go all the way out to mid-October. Right there. Wow. The at the money straddle is 300. Double it. It's $600 wide. Let's go look at what the Elizabeth Warren TP is. The options market, where's my pen? The options market is saying down here with a 72% probability that the S&P will be below, let's just go to the 25, 57.75. And 51.65. Wow. 600 wide. Does everybody understand this? Karen, I don't. I think I explained that on Monday. The October 24 AM means they expire that Friday morning. What Friday morning? Let's go take a look. July, August, September, October. Right here. 1, 2, 3. They would expire at the opening bell that Friday morning. Once all S&P 500 names get a print of a price, those options expire. So I just picked the regular Friday that expire at the closing bell that day. Does it matter? Not really. You're getting an extra day in this trade. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But that's what AM means. Does everybody understand that? Okay. So here's a couple things we can do. Wiz, out here in the future, oh man, we might, this was the monster run, 52.50. We topped out there, a little bit of chop here, 52.50. If something bad is going to happen between now and this X point, which is our expiration, you could do what? Maybe you just go buy some 52.50 puts. Okay. And of course, you know me, I'm going to laugh at you, but why? Because why would you just buy a put? You would just buy a put, ladies and gentlemen, if what? Wiz, ain't nothing cosmic. I just want to have a little put protection on down here. Okay. Buying one, holy crap. Looks like the options market is telling me that let's go down to the bottom of the at the money straddle. It was 51.65. Let's let's just go down to where the market was telling us. 51. There's a 51.70 and 60. Let's go 51.60. Wow. $5,300 to just buy a single put. Now, you know, let's go down to 51.50. I'm going to use 50s increments in this trade. Okay. If you just wanted to buy a single 51.50 put, and let me, if you don't want to trade SPX, folks, look at SPY. Okay. You just drop a decimal point. Let's look at SPY up here. I don't trade it. But if you're like, man, those are, look, it's the S&P 500, but it's an ETF. Okay. So for this one, I'd go look at buying what was down here, the 520. Oh, okay. I'm going to stick with SPX, but I'm just going to show you real quick SPY. So SPY, October 24, 520s. Buy the 520 put. What is it? Okay. So I'm going to stick with SPX, but folks, if the trades I'm building in SPX are too pricey, look at SPY. If you wanted to buy a single October 24 520 put, it's $624. Okay. So, or yeah, Benoit, you could look at XSP. XSP. Okay. Similar, but let's stick with SPX for now. SPX. Because I am going to show you if we bought that 51.50 put, let's buy the 51.50. $51.50. What could we do to help somebody? Wiz, you always tell me to be cheap. Somebody else should help me pay for this. Precisely. Why don't we sell a lower strike put, the 51.25? Look at that. Buying the 51.50 put obviously gives us nearly unlimited profit. S&P ain't going to zero by middle of October, folks. If it does, you didn't make any money because we're all dead from a nuclear exchange anyway. So, but you cap your profits by selling this lower strike put. But guess what? You ain't coming out of pocket $5,000 or whatever it was. Now let's look at the metrics of that one. The most you can lose in a debit spread on your screen right now is a tactic called a bear put spread. I'm coming out of pocket $315 to potentially make 22. Okay. So this, ladies and gentlemen, on your screen, I'm bearish on the S&P out to the middle of October. I'm using puts and it's a spread. This tactic is called a bear put spread. Okay. Now, if I believe that between now and out here at expiration, that there's a distinct possibility, I'm looking at SPY, just stay with me, that it goes down to here where here it is, the bear put spread's down here. If I think there's a possibility that the bear put spread, that the S&P is going to somehow get down close to this, I also believe what? It ain't going up here. So why don't we sell a bear call spread up here, put a roof on it to help fund that bear put spread? Okay. So where do I start? I don't even know where to start, Wiz, because when you look at the SPX chart, we were recently at record highs, 50, 56, 75. So I have no idea where to start up here. Actually, I do. I wrote it down. 57.75 is the at the money straddle up to the top. Okay. Gabriel, you still holding the bullish spread from the other day? Why would I close it? I started this part of the brief by saying what? I'm going to have dog fighting positions. I'm going to have a bullish double vertical on and the bearish. Market pops, close the bullish double vertical. Market implodes, close the bearish double vertical. We have dueling trades. Okay. Let me write this down. 51, 51.50, 51.25. All right. That's spending 300 bucks. Let's go up and look at a bear call spread up at where the at the money straddle was. It was the 57.75. Let's sell a 57.75 bear call spread. Let's go up to 5,800. My God, 5,800. Okay. Well, that's pretty good. Pretty good risk. Let's go into the 50 strike, 57.50. A little bit better. I mean, this is a high probability spread there. Look at that. Like that. Exactly, Rick. Great point. So Gabriel, Rick reminds me that I'm also staggering these, right? The bullish double vertical to the middle of September is for the Fed. I think I said this the other day. I wouldn't hold that to expiration, man. When we get the good news that, hey, it sounds like the Fed is going to cut, I'm starting to get, the more I talk to myself, I think we are going to sell the news, to be honest with you. So the first one, the bullish double vertical out to September, is for Jerome. The October is for the sell the news seasonal shit show. Okay. All right. So we just looked at a bear call spread that is bringing in a credit of $670. So Wiz, the bear put spread was costing me 300 bucks. You just helped me pay for it. Yes. Let's go build the whole thing. Add option, the bear put spread. Let's go build it. It was the 51.50. It was buying the 51.50 put. Buying the 51.50. Selling the 51.25. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, if you followed me briefly, you did the mental math and said, dude, I'm getting paid to have a Tredge in my portfolio. I'm getting paid. Somebody is paying my USAA Auto, Home, and Life for the next August, September, October, for the next 3 months. I'm getting paid to have protection on in this insane environment. Yes. Now let's go look at the risk metrics. You're risking 2,100 bucks to potentially make 2,900 bucks. The other day, we did a bullish double vertical, and this picture looked directly inverse. Now this is a bear call spread financing a bear put spread. Okay. It's a bearish double vertical. Now up to you to, again, you're the tick, you're the trader in command. I don't know how many contracts you want to do. You know, maybe you do 3. You get paid. Look at this. You do 3 contracts. You're getting paid $1,000 to do this trade with the potential to make 9 grand. Now I will learn you on the exact opposite. If we get a violent move in the direction of our bearish double vertical, meaning between now and October, that happens for whatever reason, I would close the bear put spread first, because the bear put spread doesn't like beta. So if you're seeing profits in a debit spread, close it. I gave you my SOP on Monday. Go watch the replay if you missed it. I would keep the bear call spread, the credit spread. Why? Because credit spreads like theta. When you sell something, you like time decay. When you're a car dealer and you sell a car, to somebody in a midlife crisis, the Ferrari to the 40-year-old dude in Fort Lauderdale, you love it. He doesn't. Well, he might, but he doesn't like time decay, right? On your screen, and I'd probably get this on now because it looks like our next stop is 5450 on the S&P 500. I think we're going down to the 50-day moving average. I would get this. Look at, what did I tell you, man? It is, now we're breaking lower. Get this. I would place this trade right now, baby. Go mid-market. Let's fire it. Boom. Okay. Tredge, activate. Oh, wait, I didn't grab it. I needed to grab screenshots of that. But I wanted to get that on because look at the S&P 500. Trade alerts over in the hunters. New SPX October Tredge. Let me just get the trade on. And it's a credit, by the way. It goes in the trade alert thread. Let me copy it so that I put this in the Max Afterburner, folks. Publish. Groups, Max Afterburner, our Lifetime. I got 2 people who want to join Lifetime. That's fantastic. New SPX October Tredge, paste. Now let me go back. It's in the trade alert thread, paste it. Let me grab the screenshots. Any questions on that trade, folks? Let me copy it and grab screenshots. I forgot. I'll go back and put this. SPX. Let me grab the metrics of this trade. All right. Any question? I love these double verticals, man. Double verticals are fun. You got to be right. But guess what? In this case, folks, we're going to be right. The market's either going to go up or it's going to go down. It's actually going to do both, in my opinion, but you know what I'm saying. All right. Let me put the, oh, I need to add the @everyone so it goes out as an alert. You ready? Watch. @everyone. Let me add a screenshot of the trade. Right here. And then another comment says these are the risk metrics. Boom. Immediately goes to your app. You don't have to wait for no email, no nothing. It's right there. Let me go do this for the hunters. Right there. Trade or @everyone. That's the trade. And the risk metrics. Yeah, the hunters, you get to interact with me. This is like full-time coaching. I used to hate Fridays, man, because I used to do 8 hours of coaching back to back, one-on-one. This is fantastic. People are like, hey, man, I got a question. Yeah. Full-time, real-time coaching here in this group, man, which is great. Okay. Seeing some fills from some of your fellow members. Let's go take a look. Eli filled at 340. Awesome. William, why did you decide to sell call spread to fund put spread and not vice versa? I couldn't sell a put spread because I'm bearish. So the bear put spread is a debit spread. Okay. So I'm selling a bear call spread up here, which is a credit spread, to fund a bear put spread down here. The exact opposite would be what we did on Monday. Thanks, David. What we did on Monday, which was a bullish double vertical. So make sure you join or watch the replay if you haven't joined yet. I actually put it in the solo Amazon. If you join and you're a current member, go watch Monday's session, man, right here. The replay's at the top of the page. Here is the bullish double vertical out to September for the Fed. If you're not a member and you don't see the trade, you got to watch it on the replay page. Go watch Monday's session. I have a bullish double vertical out to September for a Fed rate cut. Buy the rumor, sell the news. This October trade is a sell the news and also just a hedge, a Tredge between now and October in case the world ends. This helps me sleep better at night, having a Tredge on. I got a trade on that makes money in case it goes down. Any questions, concerns? Oh, by the ways, does that make sense, William? Did I not answer your question? Is that confusing? I'm a little confused by the question. I did it exactly the way you would do a bearish double vertical. Sell a bear call spread to fund the debit spread, the bear put spread. Now, if you're so inclined, folks, you could actually do what? You could do a burner trade to the downside. You could, instead of doing that bear put spread down here, you could have just bought the 5150 puts, right? On your screen right now would be a burner trade. There it is. Whiz going down the runway, whiz going down the runway, straight up in full afterburner. Okay. But your max loss goes up more. Why? Because you didn't sell the lower strike call down here to help somebody else fund your double vertical. So you could look at a burner trade or you could look at, something else. Steve, not really. Good question. Steve's asking about trading XLY over Amazon. If you like Amazon, you trade Amazon. XLY, it has some Tesla in it, which I think it's the second largest holding. Let's go look. We'll talk about this tomorrow more. XLY holdings, let's go look. I thought the second largest holding in the XLY is Tesla. It is. So this is why the XLY is getting hammered today. Amazon is 22%, Tesla is 18%. But you got some Home Depot, McDonald's, Lowe's, Bookings, TJX, Nike, Starbucks, Chipotle. Love Chipotle. So, if you think the XLY is a vehicle for eating some Amazon, it's not as much of a vehicle as you think. Just create Amazon. But if you want a little bit more diversification, the XLY gives it to you. You get a chunk of Amazon and some other stuff. And obviously today when Tesla's getting destroyed, it ain't looking too good. Exactly, Eli. I did the same thing. Our solo Amazon service, we traded XLY a lot. Why? Because Amazon was a $4,000 stock. And the XLY was down here at, $120 or whatever. Now that Amazon split, it's the same price as XLY almost. All right, any other questions, folks? Phone buzz probably 3 or 4 times throughout the brief, so that means some folks are grabbing their memberships. There's the link, folks. You got to join. And it's funny because people are like, do you have trials? I'm like, yeah, you're in it. I'm giving you 4 days of live trade briefs, which some people say I should charge for, but I don't. So you're in your trial, folks. If you bet, Benoit, you're welcome. If you're ready to go, because at 50 we shut the doors. Okay. One more time. This is the this is where you go purchase, or on the replay page. Just scroll down after watching a couple replays and go get your membership. This session will take me 20 to 30 minutes to render, and it will be up on this replay page. Okay. So day 1 and day 2 buttons will be down here, and this replay will be up in the main box up there. Trades aren't going to be posted on this page. Join, man. Worst case scenario, join solo Amazon for $97 a month. That's kind of the gateway drug for getting on board here. But the majority of people that are in solo Amazon end up upgrading down the road to be full throttle. So they can see how to hedge and tredge and trade psychedelics and all sorts of other stuff. You bet, John. You are so welcome. All right, hour 15. Remember, folks, they don't go this long. They're going hour 15, hour 30 because of full throttle stuff. I got to do this bullshit sales stuff, even though it sells itself. So when you become a member, we're cruising, man. Sometimes it's a 45-minute brief, sometimes 30, an hour. You know, these are longer because of full throttle. So know when you become a member, you're going to be fired up. Mark, another great session. Thanks. You are welcome, my brother Mark. Welcome aboard to all of our new members. Remember, as soon as you join, get over here and watch your Options Weapon School training, man. Get over here, Options Weapon School, sessions 1 through 6. Download your workbooks up at the top there, and then watch all the training. Get in the ready room. Wiz, I have a question about a bearish double vertical, and I'll answer it right away. I do not sit here. I go and live my life, but if I'm at yoga or the gym or at the beach or on the chairlift and I see a question, I'm on it, man. I am mobile. You're welcome, Jonathan. All right, folks. Final session tomorrow. We're going to talk about an incredible opportunity in a incredible space. It's where why'd you rob banks? That's where the money is. This is where the money is going to be. I hate talking like that, but I also know that I save and change lives in this space. So I don't have a problem talking about that because I'm actually doing the work. I'm not in it for profit. I'm in it to help save and change people's lives. And we can also profit. And I take a shitload of that profit and I throw it back over there to saving and changing lives. All right. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure your hedge fights on. Namaste. Basi Basi. What's Basi mean? It's Bawitty for truth. That's all there is. God bless, and I'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Cheers.